It's October 25th today, and even though most of the leaves have it's October 25th today. Forget that guy. I'm coming at you with more excitement, with more enthusiasm. Even though a lot of the leaves have dropped and stuff, I'm still getting harvest from the food forest. I want to go through and show you how everything's doing. Let's go. Looking from the side over here into the food forest. Tuck's running around, enjoying it in there. I really start to see and grasp how big the trees have gotten. The trees seem to grow so slow at times, and then sometimes you turn around and they're huge. A lot of these tomatoes are still just producing. These sweet treats, I can't even keep up on them. And there's a number of tomatoes in here, a lot of the cherries that are still producing, but a lot of them have rotted because, I mean, it sounds bad to say, but I've almost got sick of eating a lot of them. I've been eating tomatoes for a while now. This one still wants to put another one out. Hope you'll have time to finish. Be a nice looking one. And the parsley is loving this weather. So good for you, parsley. Just come right out here. Organic, natural, grown in wood chips, full of water. Eat it right from the stem back like Paul Gauchi. So good. These herbs like this, parsley, good to eat fresh. Cilantro, I eat plenty of cilantro fresh. It's like a superfood. Packed with vitamin C. And underneath this peach tree, got these tomatoes, these Rosa de Bern, and it's just spread out through here, and there's a lot of tomatoes ready in here. All about this size, but a good number of them ready. All through here. I'm gonna have to do another harvest video soon because I got a lot of stuff ready. You guys might have seen the space that I have in some of my previous videos that I've yet to use in the yard, so I might have to convert some of that, get some hoop houses, grow some stuff through the winter. Look at that, set up with 3 nice eggplants. And Tuck's hanging over by the tomatoes. This is the one that was just monster, my tallest tomato, all the way up top, and then just cracked the stake, cracked that bamboo stake. And that's not a thin bamboo stake. It was a little rotted, but it cracked it. And now it's just hanging back over the other side, but it's still loaded with tomatoes. Real impressive. And here's one I've never talked about too much. That right there is a citrus tree. Citrus tree grown in New Jersey. The dragon one. And here we've got a new addition, horseradish. The idea with this is I'm going to be making horseradish pickles in the future with this one. So I love me some horseradish pickles, and I can't wait to make some. I've got a few lettuces in here that I put in, but as you guys can see, I have to come through and re-wood chip. A lot of my wood chips and stuff have broken down. I'm getting weeds coming through, but I want a lot of my annuals to finish up, then I'm going to come and winterize the garden. And I'll show you guys how I do that if you're interested. Still getting raspberries though. Still getting some. Gotta love it. The amount of raspberries I've had this year compared to others has just been crazy. Especially with the yellow raspberries in the back. They have been awesome. My favorite flavor-wise, and just huge production as well. And this apricot's gotten huge. Someone told me in the comments they've had apricot trees. They said they're just a little slow to go sometimes, so be patient with it. That's what I'm gonna do. Thanks for the encouragement though. I appreciate that. I make these videos to share information with you guys, but also to share what I'm doing and inspire and encourage. So when you guys come back at me with some encouraging words, that's always nice to hear. Look at this baby setting up. Oh my gosh. We're days away from our first expected frost date, and this thing not slowing down. And plenty of cherry tomatoes. A lot of these, right about when I know we're gonna have a big frost, I'll have to cut some of these out and just give them all to the chickens. Let the chickens go crazy on them. And still getting some production back here. Eggplants, so reliable, these eggplants. The pink tongue. And I'm gonna have plenty of bean seeds, like I always do back here. It'll be coming up on their own. I'll keep some dried beans maybe. Make some beans in the winter. And then just got more of the orange ones setting up back here. A bunch of cherries back there. And I know the goji berries in my location here in Jersey, they finish late, or at least they have for me this year. And they're just still finishing up. So I don't really like to eat the goji berries fresh, personally. I just don't like the way they taste. I much rather prefer to dry them. So I'll be drying all these, saving them and using as superfoods through the winter, throwing them in my smoothies, crushing them up, and again, ingesting them that way. Yeah, look at this. Is a pear tree, and it hasn't produced pears for us in the past really that much. It was an older tree that was already on the property. So I'm using it basically as a trellis. And if it doesn't produce for us next year probably, or even this year, we may take it out because I want to get something in here that's going to fruit, that's going to be a valuable asset to the whole entire fruit forest. If I wanted a trellis, I would build one, but not a tree that I'm probably going to be keeping in the future. And a lot of the strawberries and stuff are spreading, which is exactly what I want. And here's one of the peach trees from seed, came up on its own. I'm going to be able to watch out for this one, because this one may replace the one above me in the future. It will be a semi-dwarf because peaches will grow true to their seed, unlike something like an apple tree. And here is the sister of the monster tomato I got. This one's definitely ready to eat. This one looks perfectly ripe. The chocolate mint, you know, is spreading, of course, but I love it. Every time I walk by it, I kick it. It's just that the smell that comes up is amazing. And I've got enough space here that I'm not too worried about it. I can rip it out if I need to. And the strawberries have come through again, just as they always do when the weather changes. And it's funny that strawberries will kind of run around and switch locations depending on where I walk and things like that. This is a new location that they just decided to take over. They kind of walked over there and started going. Ends up looking like a nice section to me. Really pretty with the cherry tree, the comfrey, the raspberries, the strawberries, got the grapes here. A grape arbor above the strawberries. No one would do that. It's just definitely different. And here we've got this peach tree that really set up and produced well for us this year. You can see how much I opened it up down there to let the air flow in. Some of that's circumstantial based on my location, because I live in an area where we have such high humidity in New Jersey, and peach leaf curl is one of my main enemies. That's why I'm fighting against it by increasing airflow, increasing sun, just doing anything that funguses don't like. And these are the yellow raspberries that have just been amazing. I gotta move more of these around because they're so productive late into the winter. Oops, almost missed that one. And people have told me they're having a lot of issues with the fruit flies. I have some issues with the fruit flies, nothing bad in some of my raspberries, but they've never touched my yellows ever. So I don't know if that's just me, or that maybe it's something you guys should look into in the future. I don't know why they haven't touched the yellow ones. Maybe there's just not as many. And here we've got one of my favorite sections in the whole garden. The grapes have just taken over. I've got a lot of pruning to do. It looks like more than I have to do though, because I'll just take off some of the main vines. That'll reduce how much cutting I have to do. But I'm gonna have to come up with a new system of holding these grapes up. I used bamboo in the past, but they got so heavy they pulled a lot of the bamboo down. That's cool though. I'm happy with that. Getting enough grapes that weighs the bamboo down. Look at this one, it's all bent. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to come up with some kind of system of trellising it over the top here. That'll be fun to work on. Tuck's exploring the greenhouse. I'm getting it all cleaned out. It's a mess in there right now. I'm embarrassed to even show it, but I've been busy this summer. Now that things are slowing down in the garden, they're gonna start speeding up in the greenhouse. I'm gonna get things going. I'm gonna turn that place into a paradise. So get ready to see that. And again, more production. That's why I have to do a harvest video. This late into the season. Organic, natural. No fertilizers. I say it all the time, but that's one of the differences between me and I think and a lot of the other people. We're going as natural as we possibly can, guys, while also getting still high production. You could just throw seeds in the ground and call that natural farming, but if you're not getting any food, if you're not providing yourself with the healthy, vital nutrients from that good organic food, if you're not getting enough to eat, then you're not really farming, in my opinion. But here, loaded with tomatoes and more. A real fun place to be, especially at this time of year. Oh man, look at these black cherry tomatoes. This setback here, what a beautiful one at this time of the year. Oh man, very pretty. Grab one of those. Man, This one came up on its own too, this black cherry. And these asparagus are going to be great producers for us next year. And one of my favorite little trees here, this little Asian pear. I've had it for 3 years. 2 years it's pumped out beautiful Chijuro pears for me. So really nice. And the California poppy, love when she comes back. Lets me know that it's cool. In the spring she comes out, and the fall. Once it heats up, she dies back and lets some of her sisters come through, like the zinnias and the other flowers, because you always got to have flowers in here, like the echinacea. Good investment. It's a perennial, something that'll stay around for a long time, but incredible. Brings in the pollinators, great medicinal, just incredible all-around plant. And these tomatoes here, you can see under a lot of my fruit trees, naturally tomatoes just came up and I let them go, and they just fruited a lot. And a lot of these, you'll see got these tiny tomatoes on them. These are just a random cherry tomato that comes up sometimes for me. And you notice I have some self-seeding stuff in here, even though I have the wood chips down. So how I do that, I can talk to you in the future a little about. But really, right here you can see that it's fall. And the food forest is self-replicating, and it's going to be self-sustaining even more and more as we go. It's producing its own leaf mulch now. Within a couple, maybe next year or the year after, I bet I could, if I left this all perennial and didn't go annuals in here, this system would sustain itself by its own leaf drop and its own nutrient, because we've got the trees that are big enough in here. They're photosynthesizing enough that they can capture enough of the sun's energy, drop it down to itself, and just keep them growing. So think about that in nature, guys. Those big trees, they're all supported by their own leaf drop. Add in the wood chips like I did here, that's just charging the system, getting it supercharged. Soon it'll come back to the point that it'll be able to take care of itself. So we helped it along, we progressed the system by adding our own nutrients, adding our own mulches and stuff. We progressed it along quickly, and soon it'll be taking care of itself in the future. That's today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, or you're liking the consistent uploads, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, share it with your friends. I'll be coming back at you real soon with another one. We out.